Today, I want to talk about Casper, and even in light of the we Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which is actually a reorganization, and I do think that the IP patents and that kind of information will be put onto Casper still. I want to talk about the tokenomics and some of the tech that actually makes Casper unique, and why I think that can contribute to it performing particularly well compared to some other things that have performed very well in the past, such as ADA, which could land somewhere between $1.46 and $8.09 per Casper token. So obviously, we don't have amazing price action. They rolled out at the peak of a bull run, and it has been down ever since then. But if you put this on a log scale, you can see a lot more price action. And it has been trying to fight this resistance point that was a previous support point. So I think that we can and will move above that, and I think that it can and will move above that by a large extent in this bull run that we are just now coming into. So I will touch on this again in a bit, but the X Frontier put together a very good review on why the tokenomics of Casper, despite the 8% year-over-year inflation, make it a very good token just in terms of the actual tokenomics. So Casper is a proof of stake protocol and has no max supply, and will increase by 8% each year, which is where a lot of people get turned off. All Casper private and public sale tokens have been unlocked. At Genesis, the initial supply was 10 billion, and right now we are at 12, which is not that bad. So long term, 93.2% of total supply is in circulation right now, and about 75% of that has actually been locked up. The higher the total supply in circulation, the more likely centralized exchanges will actually pick up Casper. The higher the total supply that is locked up, the more secure the network becomes. So each of these 2 points is a very positive and healthy sign for Casper to become more popular just off of tokenomics. The Casper network has the second highest, I can't say STs, ratio behind Binance's BNB. Aside from securing the network, the higher ratio indicates the long-term success of the network. So here is one from Kevin Cage. So now the math behind the inflation, and take a look at how many years it would take for the Casper token to double. And I will play this because Kevin Cage explains it very well and a lot quicker than me.
Open up our calculator and paste it in there. So for the Casper supply to double from 11.2 billion, what would it get to? That'd be 22.5 billion tokens. Now, how many years would it take for the supply to double? So we'll put in the supply and multiply it by the inflation rate of 1.08 or 8%. And let's count. Here we go. 1, year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up to 22.5 billion. That means it will take 9 years from today's day for the supply to even double. Open up our calculator.
Whoops. Okay, so the 8% inflation is there to incentivize validators and STAKE holders to secure the Casper network. The community can propose to reduce or change the inflation rewards and must be approved by a 2/3 vote. This is where I explain my opinion on how it has no max supply. Is that reducing the 8% inflation reward or voting for a burn of the supply will be detrimental to the Casper network because of two things. If you don't have as much supply, you don't have as much locked up, which means a less secure Casper network. And two, the Casper token will be needed for the mass level of volume that will flow through the public chain when it is at full capacity. And here we have a short one on that from, I'm not confident on how to pronounce his name, but he is the CEO and co-founder of Casper Labs.
Fast forward 5-8 years. How many transactions are gonna happen per day? What is your estimate when enterprise use Casper?
I mean, if you're asking me for a number, that's difficult. I expect 5 to 8 years from now, the public chain will be almost at capacity, meaning it'll be almost be filled to capacity. And at that point, we'll have to really think about like the hybrid nature. Like the way we think about sharding is hybrid, right? Like if an enterprise has a hybrid setup, you don't have to send every unnecessary transaction to the blockchain. Just send the ones you need to. Like for example, take Spotify, right? If you took every play and threw it on the blockchain, you would fill up any blockchain immediately, right? I don't know, every second there's like 10,000 plays or 40,000 plays. I don't know what it is. But really what you want to do is aggregate a certain amount of plays per recording artist to figure out what royalties are owed to them. And now you get to a more reasonable, you know, maybe every second there's 8 or 9 that Spotify is sending to the network. And the way they can do that is create a private instance of Casper and then make that private instance use our system called Checkpoint Charlie to get the audit trail on the public network as and when necessary and as and when something needs to be tradable. But 5 to 8 years from now, I expect us to be close to at capacity, and we'll have to think about lots of scaling strategies. The good news is, because we didn't fork any other chain and we built this from scratch, our ability to upgrade our blockchain, as the community knows, we've upgraded it 8 or 9 times already. Casper 2.0 is going to be a really, really big upgrade, but we can do things like that for a long, long time.
And his note on it would take 5 to 8 years lines up with the fact that it would take 9 years with the 8% inflation rate just to 2x the supply of Casper right now. So it's not as much of an issue as a lot of people might think. So here is another point on that. That they will not place unnecessary transactions on chain. He even explains that they will have to use hybrid deployments as a form of sharding in order to alleviate the volume of real transactions on chain. So here is a bit from the head principal engineer at Casper Labs on the TPS and junk transactions. So the network has to work as a network so that any node's core count can only matters up to keeping up with the network. Right now, the system is set to allow 1,250 I forget what that what the abbreviation is, but that is the coding there, and 50 of those deploys per 32.7 second block. So this is just under 40 transfers per second, and 1.5 of those deploys per second as well. What you have to understand is advertisements of TPS for Solana includes the consensus messages as well, which is pretty dishonest. A Casper network with up to 100 validators sends 10,000 consensus messages every block, which would artificially increase that 39.7 all of the way up to 345. And they don't include these as they are not real work being done by the network itself. So he says that he is not a price prediction guy. I am not either. I talk about it at times just to help with the comparisons, but there is no hype here. But with a little logic and a bit of healthy speculation off of all of the evidence and building behind the Casper network, one can extrapolate a healthy long-term outlook. So he refers back to that Kevin Cage one, and that is 8 years from that time, which is what, about 7 years from now. So I know not all tokenomics are the same, but here are a few total supplies of some other top L1s. So if Shiba Inu and Doge hit a 44 billion and 75 billion market cap respectively, it is not a far-fetched idea that Casper, with all of the use cases, integrations, and infrastructure, can potentially exceed a 100 billion plus market cap in the years to come. And right now we are under 1/2 of 1 billion at the moment. So with the 8-year mark in mind, that would put the Casper token somewhere around $4 to $5 to break the $100 billion market cap itself. So that is a little bit on the tokenomics, but here is where the actual tech begins to show how even without, or even with the unfortunate news about IPW, the Casper network itself, I don't think it will have any issues. So in short, we have the CEP 47, CEP 78, CEP 18, and the CBRC 20, which is the first Casper inscription following BRC 20, which is Casper S20 token, Casper S, or Caspers, I don't know. So here is a little bit on CEP 47. It is the original NFT, can't say STs, for Casper network, like ERC 721. It provides a framework for managing, owning, and trading unique tokens, and takes advantage of other access control features as well. The new CEP 78 is the upgrade of CEP 47 and is more flexible and supports modalities. Man. Okay, so CEP 78 is a versatile and advanced NFT. I can't say STs. It supports various types of information, including physical, digital, and virtual. It allows for a more flexible and broad range of use cases, including upgradable NFTs. gradable NFTs are a game changer for enterprises, which is a lot of what IPWE was actually working with, and I think that they will continue that work as they now reorganize. So they offer unparalleled adaptability to regulatory changes and compliance, which will be extremely important. It has enhanced security by continuous updates. You've got customizable features, asset management options, improved efficiency, future-proof interoperability, increased user trust and confidence, and the potential for decentralized government as well. So as for IPWE, they are or were, but I am thinking that they will mint 25 million patents worth about 7 to 10 billion in value. The bulk mint will use this new CEP 78 contract. Now we have the CEP 18, which is Casper's version of a fungible token, which is comparable to ERC 20, which is ideal for creating, can't say that word, interchangeable tokens for a wide range of applications, and it supports smart contracts as well. So here is the new one, which is CBRC 20. The Casper Inscription Initiative aims to integrate a unique inscription mechanism designed to provide a permanent, immutable record of information. Users can inscribe any form of information that they wish to record permanently. That information is encapsulated within an unforgettable reference, which is a unique identifier. This acts as a permanent, can't say STs, for the inscribed information, ensuring its immutability and eternal visibility on chain. So as of January 1st, he saw this new contract, and there have been over 21,000 transactions on that day. So in short, I think that Casper can perform particularly well, especially when we look at previous high performers. So I have compared it to Cardano. If we compare it to something like Solana, which at its all-time high had a market cap of 77 billion, that would equate to about a $6.55 Casper, and even right now it would be a $3.41 Casper, and that chain has a lot of the NFT and smart contract features that Casper has as well. So I still think that Casper is uniquely positioned to be able to hit just about a 100x in this upcoming bull run and as time moves on. And I think it will continue to become more and more valuable with all of the very large companies and international institutions that it is currently working with.